Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, it seems like Putin does not call anybody. They are all calling Putin. Putin is not calling anybody. That shows who needs whom. But usually who needs something, calls the other person, hey, what's going on? In this case, it seems like Putin does not miss anyone. And in this case, we have the president of France, Emmanuel Macron, who called Vladimir Putin. So let's see what does Macron want. I think he wants to lecture Putin a little bit. So this article comes from Ukrainska Pravda from August 19th, 2022. Macron calls Putin after a nearly 3-month hiatus. Oh, 3 months. Whew. French President Emmanuel Macron has called his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin for the first time in a long time. You know why? Because he used to speak with Putin about 2 times a day, and then some weasels put pressure on him and say, hey, why do you talk to him? You don't have to talk to. You shouldn't talk to. So Putin, and then Macron said, okay. So this tells you how certain they are on their positions, these leaders. Instead of answering, what the fuck is your problem? You just stay over there. What do you want? I do whatever I want. I'm France, for God's sake. I'm not a bottom feeder. Well, that told me that he is a bottom feeder. So far, only the Russian side has spoken about the call, as reported by European Pravda with reference to Interfax. Macron and Putin talked about other things, among other things, about the situation around the Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhya nuclear power plant. And I'm quoting, the president stressed the importance of sending an IAEA mission to the nuclear power plant as soon as possible to assess the actual situation on the spot. The Russian side has confirmed its readiness to provide the agency's inspectors with the necessary assistance, the Kremlin said. At the same time, earlier, Mikhail Ulyanov, Russian permanent representative to international organizations in Vienna, said that it would be possible to organize a mission of the International Atomic Energy Agency to the Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhya nuclear power plant in early September, but hinted that the Russian Federation will only agree to this on its own terms. Yes, that's our plant. Bye-bye. I made a video earlier today talking about Russians saying, yeah, let them come. Let the IAEA come, preferably before the end of this month. So, in addition, the issue of allowing representatives of the United Nations and the International Committee of the Red Cross to visit the scene of the tragedy in Olenivka was also discussed during the conversation. And Macron and Putin also talked about the implementation of agreements on grain corridors. It is worth noting that the last time the two presidents spoke was on 28th of May, and that is because the pressure was put on Macron. They shared a line with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, and the main topic of conversation was the fate of the Ukrainian military captured by the Russian invaders. Prior to that, Macron and Putin spoke by phone in early May, March, and 5 times during February, as tensions rose over a possible Russian invasion of Ukraine. Macron has been repeatedly criticized for his frequent calls to Putin. And I would criticize you for not talking to him. I mean, not talking is worse than talking. But anyway, we deal with kindergarten. In early August, the Kremlin said that Russia viewed France as an unfriendly state, and discussions between the two leaders were unnecessary. End quote. Well, did they solve anything? No, it was just a, hey, what's going on, my man? Good, you? Great, mon ami. That's good. All right, davai, go on. We're gonna keep going. Great, great. You see, Do you think that this guy had to communicate with Putin because of the Zaporizhzhya nuclear power plant? And if yes, why now and not earlier? I mean, the plant was in the Russians' hands since what? The 4th of March? Or only now something happened over there, the Ukrainians are starting shelling the area, or the Russians are shelling back? I think it's because it's a little bit cold outside, and Macron, France, turned his the coal power plants, the nuclear power plants. Germany does the same, not the nuclear but the coal power plants, and they still cannot fill their gas reserves for the winter. I think that could play a part, becoming friendly all of a sudden, but not really friendly, but you know what I mean. At least communicating with one another. I don't suspect anything out of this. It's just a you know, like you haven't seen a friend in a long time, and then or you haven't visited. You're not gonna invite yourself you know, to his house, or hey, let's meet, let's go. You start slow. Hey, how have you been? How is life? Good. Yeah, okay. Well, just want to make sure you're okay. Yeah, all right. Bye bye. And then the next one until they really, hey, what exactly do you want from me? In this case, you know, not that you want something from your friend or anything, but so it's good that communication restarted. I don't know for how long, obviously, but it's always good to communicate, because it's even better to communicate than to miscommunicate, because you can clarify things if you communicate. You know, if you miscommunicate, you know, you still can ask for, you know, details, or you know, clarifications. Say, okay, well, what was that? Or you figure out something. But if you don't communicate, you don't know what the other person is doing or the other side is doing at all, and you can't even, you know, have a little leverage, or not leverage, but you know, to go left or right, or start negotiating or talking about certain things. I think it's always good to negotiate. I don't know if you're aware, but the Russians are trying to secure a visa at the United Nations for their foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, and the Americans are thinking if they would allow the Russian delegations to attend the United Nations Security Council. That's a weasel move, because as you know, United Nations doesn't belong to United States. United Nations is an open organization, it's a world organization. It was agreed to be in New York City, and that's it. It doesn't mean that they own it. Yes, indeed, they pay for it more than everybody else, I think, and so on. I think they donated that location where the United Nations was built. That's fantastic, but you still don't own it. I mean, it's like you're in a family, you know, with a family, and you allow your in-laws to, I don't know, help you with something. It doesn't mean that you're part of my family now, no. I mean, you can't just come in and say, from now on, I'm going to tell you what to do, guys, because I helped you with this. It doesn't work that way, even though, you know, that happens in families. So the same here. We're not a family, actually. It's just United Nations. So it's good that Macron spoke with Putin. I'm waiting to see what... I don't think Macron can do anything. He's just a bottom feeder as everybody else. Unless the guys behind everybody else say something through United States, nothing moves. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.